The valedictorian of the class of Sussex Central High School is defined as the student with the highest rank in their graduating class. I now have the pleasure of presenting this year's valedictorian to address the class of 2024. Please welcome to the podium Miss Molly Gartman.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Molly Gartman and I am honored to be the valedictorian of the class of 2024. I honestly still can't believe this is happening and we are actually graduating high school. Yay. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Mr. Weber, Miss Robinson, Mr. Copeland, Miss Revel, and Mr. Warwick for your advice and guidance, which will impact my life indefinitely. Mr. Weber, I can't even begin to describe how much I appreciate your existence. From your inspirational words of wisdom to the random yet interesting facts about history, you deeply inspire me to learn and grow as a person. Miss Robinson, thank you for always being there for me when I needed support and for making AP Chemistry a little less unbearable and actually kind of fun. You will always be my favorite science teacher. Mr. Copeland, although I was never actually a student in your class, you are still one of my teachers as you have taught me the true value of inclusion and what we can do as young people to promote social justice. You have always shown me compassion and kindness as well as helped me to realize the importance of my own voice. Miss Revel, thank you for your unwavering positivity and your endless words of encouragement. I will forever be grateful for all of the pep talks you had given me to make me feel more confident and secure with who I am as a person. Mr. Warwick, thank you so much for helping me proofread and review my speech. I will always remember your endless kindness and advice. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents and family for their constant support for everything I have and continue to try to accomplish in my life. Without my parents, I wouldn't be alive and I may not be on the path that I am on now. Class of 2024, please give a round of applause for everyone who has helped you make it to where you are now. All right, so although I have this label of valedictorian, I am not any more qualified to give you guys a talk about your future than you. Every individual student sitting in these seats has a different plan and a different view on life that I simply don't know. So why should I be giving a speech about life experiences when I know nothing about your passions and struggles? So I wanted to touch on a subject that impacts each and every one of you to some degree: judgment and self-perception. Nobody thinks about us as much as we think they do. We tend to focus on how others perceive us when in reality they are thinking about themselves. With the ability to access anything we think of at the flick of a switch at any given moment through the internet and the media, we have grown up in a world far different from that from our past generations. We feel this undeniable pressure to blindly follow trends, look and dress certain ways, and reach an acceptable status in life that is simply unrealistic and unachievable. We are so worried about how others perceive us that we forget everyone is naturally self-centered and focusing on their own place in the world. Has there been an experience recently where you assumed someone was judging you? Think about it. By believing others are judging us, we are actually being the judgmental ones. When we assume someone is judging, we are creating a distorted version of them in our minds without having any real proof they are like that. Therefore, we should be more mindful of others since everyone is in their own world doing their own thing. We need to be more understanding of the fact that everyone has a life filled with experiences that differ from our own, resulting in different perspectives. Everyone views the world in a different way, and we shouldn't hold that against them since they cannot control every experience in their life that contributes to them thinking this way. Instead, we should keep an open mind with others' perspectives, even when they may seem flat out wrong or horrible. Changing the way people think is difficult, but it can be done, so this is what we must focus on. Not completely shutting others out for their difference in perspective, but being willing to understand the way they feel and think. Showing them, at the very least, grace and tolerance. In this way, we can create a more open and understanding community. By assuming others are decent human beings who mind their own business, we can begin to be less afraid of judgment. Additionally, we tend to create a perception of people based on one characteristic, even though they have a multitude of sides that we are not always exposed to. For instance, we may find someone annoying because we don't like their sense of humor, or maybe we find someone weird because they don't talk much in class. Or we might find someone scary and intimidating even though we've never spoken to them before. Remember, people are complex creatures and shouldn't be defined by one singular action, characteristic, or experience. Getting to know people and all their sides before creating a stereotype of them can allow us to have genuine connections with others. Now, I'm not saying this as if I've mastered the art of people and am a perfect, non-judgmental human being. This is in no way even close to the truth. Judgment is inevitable, as it is a survival instinct for us to quickly decide how to react to something. Everyone does it, every day, all the time. We think we can predict exactly how someone will act just based off of a few brief interactions we've had with them, or even just things we've heard about them. We create these made-up expectations for people and then act surprised when they do something that deviates from these preconceived expectations. By being aware of the fact that we are judgmental, we can change these immediate thoughts about someone, allowing us to be more accepting and in touch with people. Remember, the world doesn't revolve around you. We all know this, but do we really understand it? There are people in this world who are suffering, and we're just living life like nothing is happening since it doesn't affect us. Armenia, Congo, China, Kurdistan, Ukraine, Palestine, and the Middle East, the list goes on. Genocide and war devastate the people of all these regions, and we often ignore it because we're wrapped up in our own lives. This is real life. It's not some trend on social media for us to follow because it boosts our pride and ego. With social media being a pinnacle part of our generation's lives, we have to stop surrounding ourselves in an echo chamber of our own ideas. We have to be willing to expose ourselves to new perspectives and engage in worldly issues and events. This will encourage growth and the ability to truly connect with the world around us and have compassion for people all over the earth, even when they may seem far different from us. Think about the people sitting directly around you. You may have already made a judgment of them, positive or negative. Be honest, did you? Now think about how much you don't know about them and how getting to know them could change these immediate judgments. Just always know that someone on this earth will have the pleasure of getting to know you, the real you. Will you have the courage and open-mindedness to be vulnerable to get to know them? As stolen by Michael Scott from Wayne Gretzky in The Office, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Nobody's truly judging you. Take the shot. Thank you for your time and patience, and good luck on your future paths.